Do you remember this scene?
俺はお前と戦えない。俺は奴に、ジャッジメントチェーンなる鎖を心臓に刺されて、もう念能力も全く使えないんだ。
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're all disappointed we never got to see it. And then the anime ended. Until the manga dropped this. That's right, for everyone expecting the anime to come back, you might have to wait like 20 years minimum, but one of the best fights in the entire series already dropped. And it dropped out of nowhere. So let's give a little context. After the events in the anime, the gears start shifting towards the Dark Continent, which was hinted at by Jing. The arc being set up is a boat journey to go there, led by Beyond Netero. In the middle of all this, one of the chapters randomly shows up at Heaven's Arena, where Hisoka and Chrollo are already beginning a deathmatch. Now, obviously this fight's already been hyped up, so can it live up to the hype? First, let's talk about some of the components that make Hunter fights so great. I say there's about 3 key things behind every fight that makes it entertaining. 1. The strategy. Characters are always fighting with an insane amount of strategy behind every move. Togashi highlights their inner thoughts and how they can outsmart their opponent. This means fights can be won by weaker people depending on how they take the fight. 2. Nen. Nen abilities are so diverse and intricate that when used in a fight, they're able to use their ability in so many different creative ways to defeat their opponent. 3. Stakes. Now this is an obvious one, but the stakes of a fight end up contributing a lot to its entertaining factor. It doesn't matter if it's actually world bending or not, it matters more for what it means for the characters in question. Now let's talk about how these factor in this fight. Chrollo is one of the most intelligent Nen users in the whole series. He manipulates so many different abilities using Bandit's secret. This means he can coordinate any abilities he thinks will put him at an advantage. Hisoka's determination to fight no matter what is a perfect pairing to Chrollo. It makes this fight a lot more entertaining that Hisoka's willing to jump into whatever he knows is a trap. However, this doesn't mean he's stupid or fighting blind. The entire time he's deciphering Chrollo's plans and even countering a lot of it. Chrollo then goes on to reveal a lot of the powers he's going to use during the fight. To try and simplify it, despite dozens of pages explaining it, he uses fellow troop members Shalnark's Black Voice, which is the puppet controlling device from Yorknu, and Kortopi's Gallery Fake, which makes copies. With Bandit's Secret, which is a normal book stealing ability, he had to keep the book open on the page in order to use said ability. His Double Face ability gives him a bookmark to use 2 abilities at once. He does mention the bookmark's a part of his Nen ability and not stolen. As well as all of this, now that he has the bookmark, he has an ability called Sun and Moon, which has both of these symbols on his hands. He can mark a target with both of these, and if the 2 marks touch each other, they'll explode. The series talks a lot about how powerful Nen after death is, and this fight solidifies it more by explaining the person he stole the ability from is already dead. So that means when someone's touched with it, it can't be removed. Okay, this is an insane amount of powers being mixed together. But what it leads to is such an interesting fight. The environment plays a huge role in why fight scenes are so fun. There's a reason why they decided to fight at Heaven's Arena, and it's to involve the entire crowd in the fight. Chrollo uses his puppet ability to use the ref as an enemy, which marks him to explode as well with another copy. This leads Chrollo to having free reign at attacking Hisoka. To make things worse, he could literally switch positions with any of the copies. The fight actually is from Hisoka's point of view for most of it. He kind of represents us as the viewer trying to determine what Chrollo is going to do with these vast array of powers. As Hisoka fights off these endless puppets being controlled, Chrollo sneaks into the crowd and hits him in the back of the head, to which he responds in typical Hisoka fashion. Yeah. Right after this leads to my favorite part of the fight, which is Hisoka's counterattack. Hisoka starts using a head with bungee gum attached to it, and it's fucking awesome. He's slinging it around at puppets like it's a mace on a chain. Hisoka's strategy is to keep one of these puppets alive so he can limit Chrollo's chances of activating another ability. Chrollo is able to take back the ability, so it really amounts to nothing. He then starts using bungee gum to stick the puppets to the ground and distracts Chrollo by going for a fake hit on him and purposely misses. They're all surprised till they realize Hisoka already caught Chrollo with bungee gum, to which he tosses a fucking head at him and we realize it's a fake Chrollo. This is genuinely one of the most entertaining cat and mouse games I've ever read. As Hisoka's trying to figure out how Chrollo did this, he realizes abilities that require 2 hands can still be used with 1 using Sun and Moon. Chrollo then grabs the announcer's microphone and says, "Break Hisoka." This leads to an absolutely chaotic riot in which the audience members start sprinting at Hisoka. Is he scared after seeing a whole crowd of people run at him? He starts whipping them around in circles, destroying all of them. He realized fighting these guys forever is going to be fruitless though, until we see Chrollo call it in. The ability mentioned from the beginning was Sun and Moon. The head he was bashing people in with like a bowling ball got marked. His left hand is destroyed. While this may hinder most people, Hisoka just decides he's Spider-Man and starts using bungee gum with his legs and sticks to the wall. He starts fighting them off with strings on his right hand and runs across the wall while an army of puppets stack up on each other like World War Z. Chrollo gives a command to self-destruct when they get right next to him. As he's about to use his legs again, he realizes his right leg was obliterated. So in a last-second attempt, he's about to use his other leg until Chrollo starts chucking audience members at him. We then hear Hisoka say, "Am I going to die?" Hisoka's now on the floor as he gets surrounded by a bunch of bodies, which explode. Now let's see how this fight fits in the check marks of a great hunter fight. The strategy here is the highest we've ever seen in the series. Not only is Chrollo a genius tactician by abusing these different abilities, Hisoka is able to counter most of them and adapt to these different situations. Their Nen abilities allow them to be extremely versatile and make the fight super entertaining. The stakes felt extremely high since we know this fight's going to lead to the death of one of them. Every blow feels like it could be its last until... Wait, what happens next? Is Hisoka just dead? Hisoka's alive. I love you, Togashi. This might seem like a plot hole, but Togashi's been playing this idea of Nen after death ever since York knew. This is just an extreme example of it, which only Hisoka could pull off. The reason why it's so much more entertaining that he lives is it leads to him being a new type of threat. He doesn't just want to fight Chrollo anymore. He wants to kill all the spiders out of spite, which is what happens. Hisoka's on the loose, while the spiders are on a boat to the Dark Continent. This has given us a constant dread of him showing up and what mayhem he's going to cause. While we may get a fight in the future that far surpasses this one, we'll probably have to wait a long time. By the way, all the manga animations in this video were created by me. There's a few additional ones thanks to the help of Pop and Koya, so please go support them. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe and check out my Twitch. I usually have behind the scenes how I make my videos on there.